How much do someone's political views matter when it comes to casual dating, and why? What's the difference between casual dating and dating? Casual dating. Casual dating, you're not bringing her home to meet your mum. Casual dating is for fun, just to get a kick out of it or to relax. Some people like the challenge. Competitive dating is done in professional settings under the guidance of the FIRE, Federation Internationale de l'Amour, to keep a relatively level playing field for the competitor. Business casual dating, a coitus with dress shoes on, maybe dark jeans. Dating to date, V's. Dating to marry, I believe. Political views of many people reflect their core values, and it is also important to consider how opposing views they have to mine. Yeah, this is why the "it's just politics" line showcases an utter lack of understanding or caring, neither of which are good. We don't need to share every single belief, but we do need to share the same values and worldview. There's the big thing. Nowadays, people who have different politics don't just have different worldviews, they literally live in different realities. That's hard to build a relationship around. Eliminating regressive tax provisions and directly giving cash to poor people are policy decisions we can disagree on. But the government can do more to help the poor we cannot disagree on. As an example, exactly right. Social values tells a lot about who someone is. This has been my view when people argue about listening to the viewpoints of all sides. I'm fine with a debate about how to address an issue, higher minimum wage or UB. But when we're disagreeing about facts and reality, there's an issue of it existing who won the 2020 election, etc. When we're disagreeing as to whether certain people should have basic rights or be treated as equals because of their gender, skin color, or orientation, we have issues. When the other person doesn't even support our continuing to have a democracy, we have issue. Aka, if you view women and any other minority as human, then your beliefs should reflect that. You believe in science. Well then, your political support better show it. You believe in facts over feelings. Well then, your political support better show it. You believe we are all equal. Well then, your political support better show it. You believe regulations are overall good for humanity. You believe regulations are overall bad for humanity. People act like politics are just singular issues when they are an entire worldview, and also how you view collective good V's, individualism, aka morals. You need to be on the same page as your partner in most respects. The older I get, the more I understand the big picture. Someone's political views stem from their view of the world, and people tend to gravitate towards someone of the same political leaning. If beliefs were at odds with my partner, it would cause extra tension. Not because they vote differently, but because those beliefs would bleed into every tiny decision in our lives, and I don't think they would ever get to where I'm coming from. I wouldn't feel truly heard or understood, and that would eventually be too much for me. I went through a breakup a few days ago, not because of this, but I'm just glad to read your comment because it validates the fact that I want to feel heard or understood, even if I don't need my partner to agree with me. It wouldn't bother me if they disapproved of my views, so long as they made an attempt to understand them first. You also really learn what your future in-laws could be like, since parental opinions generally influence kids. Agreed. Started dating someone May 2016. Thought love of my life. Maybe will always feel that way. Didn't consider party or political leaning. It had never been a big deal. First time with his big family at get-together. Loud spouting about Trump. I was shocked and stunned and sad. No considering a guest might feel differently. Just assume guest is same, or who cares how guest feels. On through election and the ugliness gets worse and worse. Difficult to reconcile my mind to all of that. I see a lot of debate around American politics on this post. Lol. Seriously though, if someone has fundamental beliefs which would impact the way you live, the way you'd raise children, or views on whether or not to have any, the role different people have in society, and basically any life choice, it's better to know that your beliefs are incompatible. Why? It's still casual. Relationships require compromise to work, but we all have things we will not compromise. Exactly. Some compromises require you to bend. Some compromises require you to break. Only one of those is compatible with a healthy relationship. This comes up a lot whenever you talk to conservative men in the US. Many are extremely angry that left-leaning girls won't date them, so they hide their political beliefs for as long as they can. Instead of just accepting that that means the person is a bad fit for them, they decide feminism is destroying humanity or whatever, and that women are to blame for their lack of access to casual sex. As though they aren't creating the world in which it's difficult and unsafe for women to have casual sex. I've known a lot of women who have dated more conservative men throughout their lives, but there was a change when Trump was elected, and wow, there's been another big one since Roe v. Wade was overturned. Now every woman I know that's still dating is much more direct about her preferences and finding out what his ideology is. Because at this point, a guy hiding his conservative beliefs genuinely puts us at risk. I think the answer to this question really depends on whether or not you are meaning casual dating as a euphemism for hooking up for sex. As a man engaging in hookups, you probably want to know her stance on abortion before an accident happens, unless you like to live dangerously. Some opinions are literally just a turn-off. It's not a getting pissy thing. It's a I'm less attracted to you now thing. 100. I had gone on a few dates with guys who casually dropped that they were United Russia supporters. After that, it was pretty much got a nope out of here ASAP for me. There are some political opinions that can turn very ugly very quickly if something goes wrong while casually dating. Abortion rights aren't something that's particularly safe to disagree about in a sexual relationship, even a casual dating one. Came here to say this. I dated a guy and I got pregnant like really early into the relationship. He was so cool, I just assumed he shared my political views. I had an abortion and didn't think much of it other than feeling like a dumbass for not using a condom that one time. I found out 2.5 years later, when we broke up, that he never loved me because he couldn't respect a woman who so easily chose an abortion. Turned out he cheated on me with a girl who shared his traditional values and got her pregnant months after we broke up. When I started dating again this year, I was far more open-minded about dating folks who listed themselves as centrists or conservatives, but after the first dozen people, I noticed that men who identified with those groups strongly trended towards being ruder and more aggressive in a bad way, so I just stick to dating other liberals now. I couldn't casually date someone whose views are radically different than mine. Even casually dating, I have to stand being around this person for extended periods of time. And usually, politics reflect morals, and I don't like being with b-holes. And it might be surprising how much a partner having different political views can interfere with your career. Their loose, warped ethics or in-it-for-themselves mentality can bring down your life. Example, so you're going to tell me how much your company is sticking it to government regulation and committing fraud. Great, I work for a regulatory agency. Now we'll both get fired, or equally, I'm working with patentable private information. We have a bad breakup. Certain people are a hell of a lot more likely to try and revenge steal documents from my desk. The people who will step on anyone, will step on anyone, will step on you. Don't let them in your life, bed, or business. This thread is basically, would you date a Republican in disguise? Yeah, my first thought when I read the title was, well, someone got turned down for being a Republican. I'd say a lot. Casual dating is how you find your long-term partner. You don't necessarily need to have the same opinions, but you do need to be on the same page as your partner about fundamental things such as politics, children, careers, monogamy or lack thereof, etc. We disagree on foreign trade issues or domestic policy. No big deal. Some people don't deserve rights based on their gender or sexual orientation. Deal breaker. Some people don't deserve rights based on their gender or sexual orientation. This shouldn't even be a thing that people disagree on. It's just fucking obvious, lol. Humans are humans. I'm queer, so if someone wants to date me but also voted for a politician who campaigns on taking my rights away, I'm gonna decline and be very confused. I think this every time I see a gay Republican. It's like, bro, that guy you voted for thinks you're an abomination. What are you doing? Different political opinions are fine. What I won't tolerate is bigotry. No racists, no misogynists, no homophobes, etc. This is, as all how much do politics matter questions on this subreddit is dishonestly incomplete. I think the sales tax on marmoset fur hats should be increased by 5 I deny reality, don't think some people deserve human rights, and storm the Capitol when I lose an election, but that's just my political belief, can fuck right up. A lot. As a woman, I won't date someone who is willing to trade my bodily autonomy for a tax cut, and I won't date a racist